Here's a little sneak peek behind the scenes. This is my vantage point when I'm shooting these videos. Here's Belly, baby. Good girl, good girl. Yay, you get a treat. Good girl, good girl. Man, I wish they celebrated when I went potty. In today's video, we're going to answer the question, what can I expect to make in tech sales starting out and as I grow in my career? We're going to look at statistics, we're going to look at my personal experience, and we're going to look at the mechanisms and variables that impact pay in tech sales. If you guys find this video entertaining and informative and helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for weekly sales, mental health, and personal growth hacks that you can chew on like snacks. Let's dive in. I recently made a video on why technology sales is the best work from home job in 2022, and one of the core reasons is because of the financial upside. Yes, technology sales is a grind if you're starting out in an entry-level sales role like a business development role, and you're making cold calls to people that don't want to talk to you, and you're getting rejected and failing and grinding. But if you can push through, you unlock nearly unlimited upside when it comes to commission and other bonuses and incentives. In fact, I really believe that getting into technology sales is the fastest career path to making $100K or more a year. In my personal experience over the past 7 years working at Oracle, then Google Cloud, and now a startup, I've seen how technology sales can be a career platform that enables flexibility and choice. Because when you make more money, you have the chance to invest that into supporting your family, not that I have a family, your passions, and ultimately to create the life that you want. A life that moves and inspires you and leaves you fulfilled. And this channel's mission is to help shape a world where everyone can access mental, emotional, and financial freedom. Of course, you can see that being in technology sales plays a part in shaping financial freedom, and it also helps shape mental and emotional freedom on the way there. Because sales and personal growth go together like peanut butter and jelly, and in order to make more money, you do have to develop yourself mentally and emotionally. These things are all tightly intertwined. However, let's be clear, there is a high degree of variability when it comes to how much you can make in technology sales. One key factor is, are you at the right company that's doing well in the right market where you can make a lot of money? Secondly, are you a high performer and do you have the skill set to maximize your commission? I put a link to a site, CompGouge, where you can look at a glance at the top 145 tech companies to work at in sales, and they're ranked based on how much money you can make, base salary-wise, commission-wise, bonus-wise, and they even look at the culture of these different companies. And another great data point to look at on the site is how much sales reps make in different states. Hopefully this helps you pick the right ones in a sea of technology companies as this market is booming. In terms of improving your performance, feel free to email me at chrisbussingchannel@gmail.com. If you want to set up a coaching session, I've been in the industry for 7 years, and although I'm no sales Yoda, I might be a sales baby Yoda, and maybe I could spark some helpful ideas. And finally, I've put links in the description to some of the top sales books out there today. The Challenger Sale, for example, is recognized as the most influential and popular sales book today. It's the foundation of the sales methodology for Google Cloud and other innovative companies like Google. Secondly, you'll find a link to You Can't Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. I know, what a name, right? But it focuses on the Sandler sales methodology, which is the backbone of Oracle's sales methodology, at least when I was there. You've got a link to New Sales Simplified, which is recognized as the second most popular sales book today by HubSpot. And it's really helpful if you're in a heavy hunting and new business development role. You'll find a link to Spin Selling, which is very popular for enterprise sales, a really great book. And finally, The Lost Art of Closing, which was recommended to me by my friend who's a manager at Oracle. When he implemented some of the nuggets from the book with his own sales team, they set a record year for Oracle. I hope these resources are helpful, and if you have any additional questions after this video, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll create a video on those questions or point you to additional resources. And for any of you who have been in technology sales like myself, please share your insights and perspective. It'll help create a more complete picture for anyone else who is curious about breaking into tech sales and the upside and potential in this industry. So let's dive into some statistics on how much you can expect to make in technology sales, and then I'll color those statistics with some perspective from my own experience. And after that, we can finish up looking into some of the key variables that shape how much money you will actually make in tech sales. Comparatively speaking, if you're in tech sales, your median income is double the median income of all other workers. According to Glassdoor, the average income for a technology sales representative is between $50K and $140K. According to ZipRecruiter, the average income is just over $61K, and that doesn't include bonus, it's purely base salary. Comparably says that the average income of a tech sales rep is just over $82,000, and that factors in a typical $12K bonus. Supposedly about 83% of reps get some type of bonus. Comparably also says that for the middle 57% of tech sales reps, they make anywhere between just over $64,000 and just over $159,000. For the top 86%, they can make just over $351,000. When you look at online articles highlighting how much Oracle reps make, you can see base salaries of around $110,000 and commission that totals upwards of $250,000. And some reps are making $400,000 or more. And again, I shared a link to a great resource, Comp Gouge, and you can look at top tech companies and specifically at different types of roles like account manager, account executive, BDR, or field sales, and see how much you can make per position for base salary, commission, bonus incentives, you name it. Definitely dig into that. If you're getting value out of this video, make sure to give the like button a love tap, and let's dive into some of my personal experience to color in these statistics. I started at Oracle in their Class Up training program out of college, and my base salary was $45,000. I hit my number, and that took me to just over $70,000. I was able to close a deal and go above and beyond and get promoted to inside sales in a great territory the next year, and I made $100,000 for the first time, and it felt so good, it was awesome, and just a proof point of how fast you can break into the six-figure mark in tech sales. What I found is once you break into a closing role from a business development role, whether that's an inside sales role, account manager role, account executive, field sales role, you're gonna have the chance to make six figures at least if you hit your number. My base salary stayed low for a bit at around 45 to 50K, 60K, but because of the upside in commission, I was able to consistently hit six figures. As you get more years of experience and you move your way up and you change companies, you can move your base salary upwards of $100,000. I remember at Google, a field rep that had started with me when I joined, he was making about $120,000 as his base salary in an enterprise sales role. A lot of reps in a closing role, if they perform well, can realistically hit 200K or more. And of course there are anomalies, like a rep that was a mentor of mine that made over $1 million every year. And as I said in another video on why tech sales is the best work from home job in 2022, he would flash his W-2 to prove it. I also knew someone at Google who walked into a new territory and walked into a deal that they hadn't played any part in. It's called a bluebird in the industry, and they closed it, and it was a seven-figure deal, or maybe an eight-figure deal actually, and they made upwards of $1 million that year. They might have made $2 million. Yes, it's rare to make $1 million, and I've never made $1 million, and I'm not saying you're gonna jump in and make $1 million in tech sales, but it's possible. And it's not like it doesn't happen. In fact, I can think of 5 to 6 folks that I've encountered personally that make $1 million. And if you get to a key account director role over a lighthouse account like General Electric or some monster company like Uber, you're probably gonna make $1 million a year plus. Just know the upside is real and the upside is huge. And consider that just by being in a closing role at a big technology company, you give yourself the opportunity to get a deal that falls in your lap that could make you six figures or more. Typically, I've seen a 60-40 split between base salary and commission, or 50-50 split between base salary and commission. And a lot of times at big companies, especially if you catch them at the right stage of their journey, have uncapped commission where the cap is around $1 million. Something I've noticed is that the fastest path to moving on up and increasing your base and overall earning potential is to change companies. And I've also noticed that taking the leap to join a startup is the fastest path to building monumental wealth when you negotiate equity that can convert from pre-IPO fairy dust to actual concrete value. If you're a risk taker, no matter what age, maybe a startup's for you because the upside could be crazy when you go public. So that's my personal experience, and I hope it's helpful. So finally, let's dig into what specific variables impact how much you make in tech sales. Because the reality is, what one person makes in tech sales could be completely different than what another person makes in tech sales based on certain factors. The first factor that impacts how much you make in tech sales is location, location, location. If you're working in a tech sales hub like Austin, Texas, where I'm at, or New York City or San Francisco, you're gonna make more money. The second factor that impacts how much you make in tech sales is the role you're in. If you're an enterprise field sales rep or account executive working with large enterprise accounts on multi-million-dollar deals, and those accounts have a lot of money to spend, then you're gonna make a lot more money than a rep who's in a small and medium business segment at the same company. The small and medium business rep will have more deal cycles, but the deals will be a lot smaller. The third factor that impacts how much you make in tech sales is the company you're at. If you're working for a large enterprise company that's very established in the market and has a huge sales force like Google Cloud, Amazon, Oracle, Cisco, among many others, they're gonna be able to pay you a lot more than a startup. However, at a startup, you do have to consider the upside opportunity of equity if the startup turns into a unicorn and goes public. That's a whole different story, and that's where wealth building really takes place. The fourth factor that impacts how much you make in tech sales is your years of experience. Tech sales reps are like fine wines. They get better with age, and the more experience you have across different companies, the more leverage you have to negotiate your pay. And the final factor impacting how much you make in tech sales, and this is the beautiful thing about tech sales, is your level of effort, how disciplined you are, and how focused you are, and how smart you work. Unlike other jobs where you mostly have a set amount of income you can make regardless of your effort, in sales, if you work really hard and you're focused, you can tap into commission big time. Now in sales, you do have the possibility of a famine year where you have a horrible territory and it's just bad timing and you only make your base salary. But overall, your level of effort has a much bigger impact on your compensation than in other types of jobs. Now let's finish up by looking at your compensation structure in sales. Your base salary is your guaranteed money. And as you change companies, you can negotiate higher and higher base salaries. The rest of the money that you make and the big upside that is determined by your level of effort and focus is your commission. A common commission rate is 10%, so on every deal you close, you make about 10% of the deal value. What's even better is once you hit 100% of your quota, you tap into your accelerators. Basically, your commission rate goes up once you pass 100%. So maybe for every deal you close past 100%, instead of getting 10% commission, you get 12% commission. And once you hit 120% of your number, every deal past 120%, you get 15% commission. That's just a hypothetical example. So let's just say your base salary is $55,000 and your commission rate is 10% on every deal you close, and your quarterly sales target is $100,000 monthly recurring revenue. So you multiply that by 4 times on the year, and your yearly quota is $400,000 in monthly recurring revenue. If you hit 100% of your number every quarter at a 10% commission rate, your commission on the year is going to be $40,000. So your total income is going to be $95,000. And that might be a reasonable compensation package starting out in your first year in the industry. So guys, I hope this video was helpful and informative. And if it was, make sure to hit the like button. The YouTube algorithm loves that. We covered how much you can expect to make statistically in tech sales. We talked about my personal experience and what I've seen in the industry over 7 years. And we talked about the key variables that influence how much you make. Again, make sure to check out the links that I've attached in the video description, like Comp Gouge, to get a sense of the top tech companies and how much you can make at those companies. Also, feel free to email me at chrisbussingchannel@gmail.com for a coaching session on how to succeed in tech sales or break into the industry. And check out those books that I linked in the video description. These are some of the top tech sales books out there. And just to clarify, by clicking on these links and buying these books through Amazon, you are supporting the channel, but hopefully at the same time, the books are supporting your goals, so it's a win-win. And of course, subscribe for weekly sales, mental health, and personal growth hacks that you can chew on like snacks. Happy selling and happy living.